Storytelling is really important because it's a great way of passing on our history and our heritage to future generations coming through.
It's something intrinsic in human beings, I think, that forever we've been telling stories.
Storytelling is important because when you look back down the lane, everybody growing up, you must have been told one or two stories.
We are a nation of storytellers, and I think that it's really, really important that there's so many brilliant stories out there that people haven't heard.
كان هناك صائد سمك فقير الحال كان يذهب إلى الصيد كل يوم.
Storytelling has a fundamental part to play in building any community. That's a big part of why we deliver what we do. It's where you create that sense of connection with people and allowing people to find a space to tell their own stories. You know, people who maybe haven't had the confidence to do that before. It's been a great opportunity for everybody involved, I think.
Ládin a leichen, haig taraf jarach assassin, gus maslachach the horst do galabain. Hisse goadin bein voorlig is geluge.
I liked seeing so many members of the community, ages, backgrounds, ethnicities. It was such a together event, you know, it's bringing so much culture and energy and uniqueness.
I think it's really important that everybody gets a chance to tell their story, no matter where they live. People are far away from home, or people are at home. It doesn't matter where you are. I think everybody should have an opportunity to feel that they can tell their stories in a safe, welcome environment.
Showcase Mac culture to Scotland in this case is kind of bringing Mac country to here and make sure that you all understand where I'm coming from and what I represent, and that's the beauty of it.
I feel like these type of events are good for bringing together different cultures that are present here. Obviously Scotland's like a melting pot. There's all types of different backgrounds, different experiences.
I tried to build up a wall and I built the thing up real tall, but as soon as she give me a call, I feel like it's ready to fall.
We tell stories because if we don't keep telling them, they will get lost. So we hope that by doing this show and making it an annual event, that legend will never be forgotten and we can build on it and make it a great celebration for years to come.
I think we've lost a lot of natural storytelling, especially in verbal and performance. So I think that reminding ourselves of these things helps keep us involved.
So it's important to us to keep this story of the dragon going because we want it to be remembered and enjoyed for future generations.
Storytelling is really important for queer people. It's important that we see ourselves represented in these stories of the people and voices of Scotland.
I think the incredible thing about queer stories is that even though we have so many aspects that are different, even someone from a completely different background to you, if they're queer, there is more likely that there's more things that are uniting us rather than separating us.
Sin scéal acha me dú, scéal is Iatland Vulte an an Aragale. Agus san me gláirstead fér is an abravad ein boar aha.
It's very important for me to tell the stories that belong to Argyll in the dialect of the area and in a place that represents the kind of environment that my ancestors spent their time in. It's been a fantastic experience because I had a whole load of stories bouncing about my head that I told to my kids and occasionally told at wee gigs here and there, but it was lovely to get that corpus that's you know, in my brain onto film and get it out there to the public.
The building that we're sitting in, we might at a squeeze fit in an audience of about 20. Online, we have performed to an audience of several hundred.
Fishing has been a really important part of the lives and livelihoods of people here on the Ross of Mull and on Iona. And it's really woven into the fabric of the communities here. But it's a story that's not often told, it's not often recorded. So it might be told within families or people might talk about it down the pub, but it's rarely recorded or given the kind of value that making a film about it gives it.
When you live somewhere rurally, such as the Ross of Mull or Iona or Dervig where I live, you're part of a community. You tend to be part of a community of people that are there, that are making their lives there. And very often these stories of the local people don't get told, don't get celebrated because we're living our ordinary everyday lives.
It was a really lovely event, especially after the last few years we've had. It's just been amazing to come to a local event full of different generations of people all coming together and celebrating a part of their history.
So it was kind of a happy accident that we managed to display this exhibition as part of the Edinburgh Deaf Festival 2022. That's the first of its kind, and it seemed very in line with the ethos that we just want to celebrate deaf heritage and deaf talent and culture. Because we're all seeing people like Rose winning Strictly, and we know for a fact there's so many out there just like Rose that just haven't had the opportunity to blossom and whatnot. And we thought the Years of Stories tied in very nicely with that. And in the future we hope to grow. It's the first one, so we hope to grow, get more performers, and more people come in, deaf and hearing alike.
So today we're at Bewley Priory and we were holding a special tree celebration event for the Bewley Witch Elm, and it was just an opportunity to bring the community together and some of our partners to learn more about tree health and climate change, but also to share stories of the tree.
It's such an ancient tree, it's nearly 800 years old, and the fact that it has died of Dutch elm disease, I feel like it is a wake-up call and an important moment in time to start talking about tree health and tree diseases and how climate change is influencing the species that survive or don't survive.
And it was really nice for me to spend time with this tree and try to imagine what its story has been, in the sense of its origins when the priory was inhabited by monks. Yeah, the stories that tree knows. Oh, wouldn't it be amazing to know?
Today I was taking a group of girls round the stadium tour. We went down and seen the outside of the stadium. We also had some shooting practice in at the speed gun. Then we came round to see the trails here, and we had a tour with Fiona Skillen.
We've been trying to share stories that illustrate the kind of key points in the history of the women's game. Often people assume that the women's game is a very modern thing, and really it isn't. It goes right the way back to 1628. So today we've taken the girls on a journey from 1628 right up to the early 2020s, so really covering a huge range of history.
I think it's really motivational, if these women can overcome those tough times and become professional footballers, then there's no reason why we can't today.
I think it's really important to tell the story of the Forfar witch trials because it's an issue that's still ongoing. There's people around the world that still face discrimination and persecution, not just around witchcraft accusations. And I think that if we don't learn from instances like Forfar's witch trials, then we're kind of doomed to repeat the mistakes of our past. So welcome everyone to a Forfar witch story walk. My name is Sarah and I'm going to be guiding you around the town. I really enjoyed being a part of this project. It's really good to get people excited about a bit of their local history and to share it with all the local people in Forfar, because it's surprising how many people did not know very much about the witch trials before this.
I think it was a really horrible period in history, and I think it's really important that we remember these people and what they went through, and we learn from the mistakes of our past.
But the fairies knew no time at all. They had built Michael Scott a lovely house.
As an adult, I still love listening to stories. I was brought up with a grandparent who told stories, and somehow I've never lost that joy of listening to a story.
I loved everything about it. This iconic building with the flags that we created in the community.
Passing on stories, person to person, is like passing on a gift that connects us. It connects us to each other, it connects us to our heritage, it connects us to the place we live.
It's been brilliant to be able to create a project as part of the Year of Stories programme. And basically, we wouldn't have been able to make this project happen without that funding and support.
We're a really small organisation, we're voluntary like I said, and we couldn't do a project like this without support from the Community Stories Fund.
The support we've got has meant so much to us. I think for one thing it's wonderful to be part of something that's happening throughout Scotland, to not just be isolated away doing your own thing. So to be part of something that's bigger, that is about telling stories, is really important to us.
The Year of Stories funding has allowed us to really be able to have that freedom, that financial freedom, to provide a platform for our artists to tell their stories.